It's just a sad day just to be even having a report on a story like this. I believe in unity. Let me just say that first of all, but they have, I'm saying from black people, tweets, and they're asking why are white people adopting black children and saying that there has to be some sort of hidden agenda behind doing so.
I'm not raising black children. I'm raising children. I'm not raising black men. I'm raising men. And whether you are black or you are white, no matter what race that you are, there are certain things about being a man and being a good man when it comes to character and integrity and safeguarding the helpless and sticking up for those who need it and being a good man of reputation. None of that has to do with skin color. Everything has to do with the character of the man. And like I said, it's probably not an answer that some people would say is important, but that's where the world has gone, where we think that the most important thing about us is our skin color or our gender or our sex or our political affiliation or all these different identity politics or the identities that we put on each other, when really we're just human beings on this earth. And there are certain things about being a good person that transcend skin color and age and sex and religion and all of those different things.
I love that answer.
Yeah, it's hard. It's what I feel too. You know, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's me. It's uniquely, that's how I feel about it. So
have you had any tough questions as of yet from your 7-year-old?
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's things about skin color, obviously, you know, I mean, because it makes a lot of sense, right? It's like whether and just a call to action for men, you know, right? We grew up on cowboys and Indians and GI Joes and superheroes and stuff, and we all want to feel like a superhero, right? As the male gene, we want to feel like a superhero. And we are a superhero to our children, right? We are a superhero to our children. We are a godlike figure to our children. And we get that opportunity with each and every one of our children that we have. And it doesn't matter where you're at on the socioeconomic ladder or what you have accomplished or who you are a superhero to them. So yes, when my son sees me and he sees me like a superhero, and he can even watch me on TV, and his kids at school say, your dad's going to beat up Conor McGregor. And so I'm like a superhero to him, yet he knows he can't be exactly like me because of skin color, right? I'm sure in his 7-year-old brain, which really he'll understand someday when he's a little bit older, right? So there's the skin color, you know, difference, obviously.
How do you handle that? I mean, with one-on-one with him?
You know, I think one-on-one, I think it's the beauty of being a man of faith is we were called for a time and a family such as this. This is exactly how God created us to be. This is exactly how my family unit was supposed to be. Before I was even born, this is exactly how it was supposed to be. Before you were even born, he knew that you were chosen for me and mommy. And he knew that you were going to have your skin color. And he knew that I was going to have my skin color. And there's beauty in that. And it's unique to a lot of people. It might be foreign to some people, but is absolutely beautifully God ordained. And it's something that is going to be a part of our testimony. It's something that is making impacts through a butterfly effect that we don't even understand yet, whether it be people that see me from afar, people that see the way that I love you, the differences that we do have compared to if we did have the exact same skin color and the exact same eyes and the exact same hair. This is exactly the way God created you, and you were created in God's image, and you were created for so much more than you can ever think or imagine. And God has commissioned me and chosen me to be your dad. And the most important thing that I can be is your dad. And I tell him every single night, I whisper it into his ear, and he probably gets tired of hearing it, but I thank him. I'm like, I thank you so much for being my son, and I'm so proud to be your dad. And I just think I didn't get that as much when I was a kid. My parents loved me so much, but they didn't really make me feel like I could run through that wall. They didn't really make me feel like I could go across those county lines and go anywhere across the world and do anything I want to. And I want my children to unlock something inside of themselves to make them believe that they can do anything. And I pray that prayer over them every single night. You are Hap Chandler. You are Ace Chandler. When you walk into a room, people take notice. When you speak, people listen. When you walk in a certain direction, people will follow. You are a child of God. You are the head, not the tail. You are above and not beneath. And you are chosen for a time such as this. And I am so proud to be your father. You know, and the best thing that we can do is pour into these kids, because if I could be a superhero to him, but somehow that superhero believes in him more than the superhero believes in himself, then what can't he accomplish, you know? And it's so much bigger and so much deeper and so much more impactful than our differences, our skin color, the things that are different about us, because we're so much more the same than we are different.
Now, this is UFC fighter Michael Chandler, and he's speaking about his approach to parenting his 2 black adopted sons in the midst that there have been tough questions about their skin color that have been arising. But how can you not respect somebody like this? Somebody whom wants to love on these children and see them become the best version of themselves, and also encourage them to unlock their full potential. Honestly, he taught me so much in this clip right here that I want to start implementing with my children. Childhood is temporary. That's something that I truly believe. But hearing stuff like this, man, actually encourages me and gives me guidance and insight as to what my focuses should be on when it comes to raising my kids. But to the point of this whole video, even after all this has been revealed about his experience of adopting and raising these black children, even with all of that, you have people out here saying, how the hell can white people be adopting black children? There has to be some sort of ill motive, or there has to be some sort of ill intention behind this, or hidden agenda that we somehow don't know about. And for me, man, that's just heartbreaking, because family is everything, right? And the fact that these kids are able to be adopted and be loved on, and be taken care of and provided for, and this is the first thing that we come to, like, that's just, it's not only ignorant, it's heartbreaking. I'm not gonna sit here and say that everybody, black or white or any other ethnic background, has the best intentions, and unfortunately they still get access to be able to do something like adopt children. I'm not gonna sit here and say everybody's a saint, and I'm not here advocating for people who have ill intention, but to sit there and make the statement, how can white people adopt black kids, as if like it's just the most evil thing in the world, bro, that's just ignorant as hell. And somebody wrote, that all sounds nice and idealistic, but unless he is going to reprogram the entire world for them, those boys will grow up to be black men and will have challenges that he doesn't have. And it's his job as a parent to prepare them to navigate those challenges. I'm gonna tell you right now, I asked my son the other day a legit question. I walked up to him, I said, hey son, you're getting ready to go to high school, and you have white friends, you have black friends, he even has some Asian friends. Let me ask you a question, son. Do you feel like your white friends have more advantages in life than you, or opportunities? Do you feel like they can do certain things that you can't do just in the school system or even outside of the school? He just looked at me and said, no. And I'm like, are you sure? They usually tell you that you, as a black person, you're but you usually have less resources and less opportunities because of your skin color, and you're gonna go through more challenges just based off of your skin color alone. He like, no, I don't feel that way. I feel like if I just put my mind on whatever I want to do, I can do it. And he said, I'm looking at you, you're pursuing your dreams right now and living in your purpose, and I don't see anybody or skin color being your advantage or your disadvantage. And I'm going, hey man, you get a punishment pass. I'm saying all this to say, obviously my experience as a black man will be definitely different than that of a white man, and the white man's experience will be different than that of a Hispanic, and that vendetta of Asian and so on and so on and so on, right? I think that we have to get rid of this idea that we somehow can't be all that we can be in this current modern era society, when we have so many examples of excellence, of black excellence in all of these major positions. We have black senators, black mayors, we got black people in the Supreme Court, black judges, you know what I'm saying? Like black officers, police chiefs, you know, head of the department, I can't remember the lieutenant, like what is it? Anyhow, attorney generals. We got black people starring in movies. Like we gonna put it all there, you know, heading the foot in music and sports, and it's like, come on, we're doing so much beautiful things to sit here, and we wake up every day with chance and opportunity, and the people, our ancestors, fought for us to be able to wake up with these chances and opportunity, only for us to sit here and resort to this, looking at another race of people and saying, hey, if you adopt somebody that's other than your race, you up to something, and somehow imply that that's racist in some other way. Like, it's stupid.
Why do white people adopt black children? It's a real question for me.
Because you keep throwing them away. Maybe if black mothers would stop having random children with random men without being married and having a family to keep that child in, there wouldn't be so many black children to adopt. Also, while you're on the internet running your mouth, how many children can you adopt? Probably 0, because you don't qualify, because you have to have a family. You have to be financially sound. See, this is how the process works. First, they reach out to the immediate family, any blood relatives, and try to get somebody to take that child. That didn't work. Then they try to find a child with a family they can connect with, same race. That didn't work. And they had no choice but to put the child with a white tea family who was willing to take the child. So instead of asking why are white tea people adopting black people, why don't you ask, why are there so many black children up for adoption? Aren't y'all the most educated? Aren't y'all making the most money that any other group of black women have ever made? So why aren't you adopting black babies?
And guess what? The reply to this is, this has a lot of false information, mostly false information. Up under the tweet, people were asking why, you know, can you elaborate? Do you mind elaborating? Just so ever so politely. And of course, no response. I even see the ignorant racist comments that are like, they're adopting them because they want to raise an athlete. Wow. Something that is way more serious for you to consider. What about the thousands, maybe even millions of couples out there who are wishing to be able to have a family and to have a child and to raise children, and they don't care about the color? What about them? The real question is, why is this even a question at all? What does skin color have to do with anything?